What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Today, we're talking about a very, very important topic. If you guys have not heard of the bioengineered ticks that Bill Gates is releasing to the public, it's going very mainstream. Everyone is talking about it. A lot of farmers are reporting that they are seeing them everywhere, even on their products. It's taking out their products in regards to horses and sheep and cattle, and also causing people to have allergies or become allergic to eating meat. Imagine how miserable that would be. And of course, as we know, the rich elites, this administration, especially this administration, Trump had him over for dinner recently where he was talking about his, evil scientific ways or what he was moving towards the future with. It's very well known that he is building or, creating these ticks, and it's causing issues. So why isn't this administration even covering this topic? Well, one of my favorite people on X to get my news from released I think it's an 8-minute clip talking about this. So let's get it started, y'all. Hope you guys are having a blessed day.
Trump and his admin is out there in the Middle East in the sandboxes searching for pretend nuclear dust in the Middle East for Israel. This is happening on the home front from within.
You should do a little research. What I want to know is, why are people finding box of ticks on their farmland, specifically large farms with cows, sheep, goats, horses? What reason would people want to spread ticks and make that become a problem for farmers? But this is really weird. I know Pfizer is coming out with some new products to help get rid of Lyme disease, but that can't have nothing to do with it.
Bro, enough is enough, man. There are ticks everywhere. I don't remember ever seeing this many ticks. Like, I literally cannot bring my dog. I'm genuinely mad right now. Like, I think it's just fear. I think it's like genuinely just fear, but like, I cannot come outside. I can't come outside here. I live in Northwestern Illinois. Yes, I know it's tick season, but like, I just don't ever remember in 41 years ticks being this prominent.
My top plot, and I saw this little guy. I don't know if he's alive or he's got ticks all over his head and eyes. I mean, look at that.
So sad.
On his ears.
Now this might be the most ticks I've ever seen on any animal ever. That is insane. And look at the size of them. They're enormous. Huge ticks on this girl.
I'm out here mushroom hunting, and I found, there it is right there, the tick box.
So Alex Jones actually, I believe, released this yesterday, and this is supposedly they are being shipped out in the air and just dropped off. And they're just coming out and this is dangerous, guys. This is like next level. This something needs to happen. Something needs to be said. Something needs to happen as soon as possible, because this is unacceptable.
I'm not going to touch it because there's ticks all over that thing. I know there is. Look at them crawling out of it. Millions of them. You can see the tick.
That's them being released in the air.
Weird.
Look at my face and my neck. I can't eat red meat anymore. I can't have any animal.
Don't tell me that. I have red meat at least twice a week. Oh, could you imagine not being able to eat that? This is treason, guys. Like, why isn't anyone saying anything about this? It's only the black pill America First people that are saying stuff about this. MAGA, which is just make Israel great again, they are saying nothing about it. Instead, they are focusing on going and bombing foreign countries and starting wars in the Middle East and, solving any issues at home like this.
Byproducts in anything. And it's in everything. This is alpha-gal syndrome.
Do you guys really think the government would do something like that so that you couldn't get your good proteins and good fats inside of your diet? You'd think the government would do that?
two examples. So one is that people eat too much meat, right? And if they were to cut down on their consumption on meat, then they would it would actually really help the planet. But people are not willing to give up meat. Yeah, some people will be willing to, but other people, they may be willing to, but they have a weakness of will. They say, "Wow, this steak is just too juicy. I can't do it." I'm one of those, by the way. So but so here's the thought, right? So it turns out that we know a lot about. So we have these intolerance to. So for example, I have milk intolerance. And some people are intolerant to crayfish. So possibly we can use human engineering to make it the case that we're intolerant to certain kinds of meat, to certain kinds of bovine proteins. And there's actually analogs of this in life. There's this thing called the Lone Star tick, where if it bites you, you'll become allergic to meat. I can sort of describe the mechanism. So that's something that we can do through human engineering. We can kind of possibly address really big world problems through human engineering.
Did we actually use ticks as bioweapons?
Yes, it's actually in CIA documents that have been declassified. For instance,
why has every single person, including Bill Gates, who's involved in this, not been, you know what that means, right? Treason. What happens when you commit treason? What the actual fuck are we doing right now, guys? Our leaders are concerned about everywhere else but America. This is a damn joke. This is infuriating.
Infected ticks were deployed from C-130s flying low over sugarcane fields in Cuba back in the day under President Kennedy. There is abundant evidence of the field testing of infected ticks and other insects in a variety of settings in the United States and elsewhere. Clearly, USAMRIID was involved, and in particular, the Plum Island facility that had been a biowarfare investigative facility and then was transferred over to USDA was involved in a lot of this research. It also involved infected mosquitoes and deployed infected mosquitoes and a number of other things. A release of a large number of Lone Star ticks that have been radioactively tagged in Virginia. It appears that that was responsible for the introduction of Lone Star ticks along the eastern seaboard that have now migrated north of the Mason-Dixon line. So there's a lot.
But wait, radioactive ticks being dropped into Virginia by our government?
Absolutely. Absolutely, as part of a project in the 60s to look at the ability of these modified insects to disseminate geographically. And it appears that that's the origin of the Lone Star tick infestation that we now have along the eastern seaboard. It also appears that that Army research involved development of ticks that had multiple pathogens, and the appearance that those modified organisms found their ways into the eastern seaboard, potentially through animals crossing over to Plum Island and then back onto the mainland.
Like, this is such a joke that this should be our main focus right now. This, fixing prices, making gas go down, fixing the homeless and drug epidemic, eliminating the whole tax system altogether, arresting the people on both sides that are involved with Epstein and treasonous who have sold out to foreign lobbies. There's a start for you, but as we know, MAGA is Israel first, not actually America first, like me. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Pass it along. Crazy biblical times that we're living in. Have a blessed day.